Hey there. So I'll take pictures of the self-treatment book when I can find them, or send a message to Sarah, Summer, or Jared to see if they can send it for us. But in the meantime, I'll just explain the two techniques that I had in mind. So if your jaw kind of popped out, but it's not quite right, like either the disc may be a little bit off, and or it's just not quite right back in alignment. So remember that myofascial techniques are very, very gentle pressure. You can kind of explain what that feels like to them. And you're going to hold it for ideally 5 minutes per release, or longer if you feel like things are happening. So the first one, since we popped out, we don't necessarily want to go lengthening those tissues further. So we're going to compress, which actually is just going to be like you're leaning your hands on your jaw like you're bored. So because you're going to be holding it for 5 minutes, what you can do is you could sit at the table and you're just going to rest your jaw on your hands and keep your neck in a relatively neutral position. And I'm going to talk you through it, and then I'm going to stop because it's kind of hard to talk while you're closing your jaw, essentially. So really all I'm doing is just compressing the jaw into the joint. Again, very light pressure. So you're basically just going to let the weight of your head rest on your hands for about 5 minutes, which sounds weird, but think about releasing the tension from your jaw. So just let your teeth be set but not clenched, and let that loosen, and just bring your awareness to that area and see what you feel. You may feel some heat build in that area. It may feel a little bit tense or a little bit achy. You might not feel a whole lot of anything at all, which is okay if that's the case. But either way, hold that for about 5 minutes and see what comes up. If you feel like your jaw wants to shift side to side, or whichever, while you're compressing, go with it. Kind of think of it like a Ouija board, if you feel that. If after that little bit of compression you feel like your jaw wants to open and go through any movements, go ahead and move through that. That's called unwinding. And then after about 5 minutes and you feel like things are relatively settled, then you're going to do the opposite. We're going to take our hands like this, palms on the cheeks, but kind of anchoring on your mandible comes down like this. So we're going to use our palms just to gently traction downwards, like down towards your shoulders. But again, very, very lightly. So think about just taking out the slack in the tissues. So if I was looking at my sleeve, I'm just going to take out the slack. I'm not going to pull on my shirt. So again, kind of hard to talk through this once I show you, but you're going to take your hands, and you could do this on the resting your elbows as well. Just let your jaw be loose and let your hands very gently traction towards the ground. So they're tractioning downwards. And again, if you could see there, like my head's kind of forward, it's better to have your neck in a relatively neutral position like this, so that you're going straight down and you're not putting too much stress on the upper part of your cervical spine. So those are two things to try. You can also get 2 tennis balls, again, 5 minutes for that. You can get 2 tennis balls and stick them in a sock and tie the end, and then rest those right here, right on the back of your head, just below the ridge, and just lie on those, because you may also have some tightness up in your upper cervical spine and in your neck that may have contributed. If we have our heads forward a lot, if we're on our screens and watching TV and like everything else that we do, that already puts your jaw forward, and that could have contributed towards that. So you can help relieve some of the tightness in the muscles there just by laying on those 2 little tennis balls. If that feels too intense, just take a washcloth and roll it up. The same thing, lay on it right under the ridge of your head. A foam roller is okay, but that really puts kind of a lot of stress on that area. So tennis balls, or if you have dogs, you can use, the dog chuck-it balls in there also. And for Lee, yes, I do have a cattle dog shower curtain in honor of Murray. This is, sorry, I have to show you, this is the Murray wall. And it's hard to match peach colored stuff, so it turns out cattle dog colors match. But anyway, I will try and send along something printed with pictures to excuse me, follow up on that. And if you have any questions, just shoot me a message, okay? I hope that helps and relieves some of the tension on your jaw. All right, bye-bye.